Hey everybody, this is Daniel Glass. I'm here at the DW factory in Oxnard, California today, and I'm going to talk to you about the DW 6000 series hardware. Now, for a guy like myself who's used a lot of vintage drums, vintage hardware, and is really into that sleek, lightweight design, look, and feel, this is the bomb. This is like my dream come true. I've done thousands, literally thousands of gigs, taken these stands on the road with me, dragged them all over town, thrown them in the case. You know how you abuse your hardware. This hardware takes the abuse. I've never stripped anything out, never had anything break, so I can speak from personal experience. There are 4 different stands in the 6000 series of hardware. There's 2 cymbal stands, a straight stand, and a boom stand, of course, and then you got a snare stand and a hi-hat stand. And let's take a look at each one of these because they all have a lot of really incredible features. Now, the cymbal stands, of course, like other DW cymbal stands, are really, it's amazing how much you can adjust them. You have a toothless tilter here, which means that you can set it exactly where you want it. And then once you've done that, you just crank it down with this ratchet, ratchet-style handle. And then you use your tech lock here to really crank it down and finalize it, and that sucker's not going anywhere. Of course, you got, on your boom stand, you've got memory lock here, so you can adjust how far you want the boom to come out. And again, memory locks here like on other DW stands. And then, of course, you have an adjustable cymbal seat, which, you crank that, you can twirl this around up or down, so it determines how much your cymbal can move back and forth. You can either move it a lot or just move it a little bit. So these all come standard on these cymbal stands. One of the problems with the old school retro flush based hardware was that everything was low to the ground, so you'd get into trouble with the hi-hat stand running into the snare stand running into cymbal stands. And DW has solved this in the most simple and ingenious way. It blows my mind. There's a little clip down here on the stand, so it can either be completely flush with the ground, or you can remove this clip, just snap it back in up here on the stand, and now you can raise it up to get a little more elevation, so that now what you can do is you can put these 2 stands, one on top of the other, and you don't have that problem of legs, getting all crowded up. So it's great because you have the functionality, but you still have the cool retro look. Let's look at the snare drum stand. What I love about this stand, first of all, is that very simple design, but it has all of the functions. You can adjust the basket here, memory lock here, and one of the really cool things about it is when you want to tilt your snare drum, it has these little notches cut in here so that in a way it kind of is like a little memory lock. You can remember exactly how you want it to have the tilt on your stand. So another cool feature there. All right, now let's look at the crown jewel of the 6000 series hardware line, and that would be the hi-hat stand. It looks so simple, it's so lightweight, so sleek, so aerodynamic, and yet it's unbelievably sturdy and just has an incredible array of features. So let's start with the clutch. First of all, if you want to adjust the amount of washiness of your cymbals and you don't want anything to move, there's a little lock that you can crank down with your drum key here, and boom, that locks in the bottom of the hi-hat clutch. Moving down here to the angle adjuster, it's real heavy duty. It's not one of those kind of flimsy ones from underneath. It's got this really cool design, so you can set the angle of your bottom hi-hat cymbal. Of course, a memory lock here. And then down here, the tension adjusting system is beautifully designed. One simple screw right there for a drum key, and you can design how much spring you want in your, with your pedal. And it's a direct drive design so that the pedal is actually pulling the cymbal down directly. One of the things that I love is the way that they've got these radius rods here, and it makes it super easy. You can get, if you have a real small hardware case, it's just real easy to pack up. So you got your flush-based hardware here. You just loosen that down. Boom, tighten this, just unhook your radius rods, put it like that, and you're good to go, right into the hardware case. The 6000 series pedals. Now, many of you who've been following DW for a long time probably recognize this pedal as harkening back to the very first pedal that DW ever designed. If you notice, it does not have, like a lot of more modern contemporary pedals, it doesn't have the big plate running along the bottom. Rather, it has these radius rods. And what's really cool about this, it's a sleek design, and if you just have a small hardware case, you can just unclamp these, fold it up, and literally just put this guy in your hardware bag or, you know, in your case. So it makes it real easy to travel with, and it's very durable and steady. The other thing that goes back to the original DW design is the single chain and cam design. So that's got a real classic look and feel to it. Now, like other DW pedals, this has a lot of standard features. The delta ball bearing hinge here, your spring adjustment here. You can also adjust the amount, the stroke adjustment, which says how far, how close you want the beater ball to be to the bass drum. Also two-way beater, either a felt or a plastic beater. Great clamping system, really holds it nice and snug onto your bass drum. So all these features are here with all the 6,000 pedals. Now you notice I got 3 pedals sitting in front of me. The reason for that is that each one of these has a different cam system. You have the accelerator, which might give you a little more speed, the turbo, which might give you a little more power, and of course the classic strap drive, and a lot of jazz players prefer this because, again, you get a lot more sensitivity with it. Myself being a jazz swing style player, I really like these pedals because it allows me to do maybe 4 on the floor type of playing or some more fancy footwork, and it really makes me feel like I'm in control. So regardless of whatever type of drumming that you do, DW has a pedal for you, and if you want that cool kind of retro old school DW vibe, I really recommend the 6000 series pedals. So there you have it, DW's 6000 series line of hardware. Really simple, sleek, aerodynamic, retro, but incredibly rugged, roadworthy, well-designed, and I can't recommend it enough. So this is Daniel Glass. Thanks so much for watching.